by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. Hi there, my name is Tercy Engelhardt, and I want to welcome you to the Unreasonably Grateful podcast, Living in Grace by Choice. So, okay, welcome. Grateful that you're here. Some of you may be listening to your 261st episode. Others of you maybe pop in from time to time, and some of you, this may be the first time you've ever been here. And wherever you are on that spectrum, welcome. I'm grateful to have you. I do believe that we're a part of one another's journeys, and however you got here, perhaps somebody shared with you, yay, I invite people to do that. But however you got here, you're in the perfect place, and it's my prayer that you hear something today that helps you take the next step in your journey. And what is that journey? You know, I call it recovery. And for those of us who have struggled with some kind of addiction or addictive behavior, maybe that resonates. If you don't, maybe that doesn't. But consider that we're all recovering from how we've reacted to the circumstances of life and becoming more of who we were created or designed to be. And that's the journey that we're on. When we can let go of those reactions, those wounds, those disappointments, those failures, those heartbreaks, and let more love into that space, more love flows through us. So we're the recipient of it. And then more love flows from us so we can actually pass it on and be the giver of that. So wherever you are in that, I'm grateful that you're here. Remember, I don't have your answers. You do. But sometimes when we work through things together, we discover insights or tidbits or wisdoms that help us find the answer that we needed to take us to the next step of our journey. And that's what I hope happens here today. So this particular episode is called How We Change. Becoming more of who we were designed to be. So, a couple of things. Oftentimes, how we change, and how I certainly have tried to change, is I'm coming from there's something wrong with me. I'm broken, I'm hurt, and I want to be different. And I don't recommend that. I don't think it's actually worked that well for me, and I haven't seen the kind of results that other people hope they would get in their own lives. And you can see why, because if we're coming from a place of, I need fixing or I need changing, who we are is moving with us, and we're trying to do something on top of that. And my experiences over the years, the more I do that, the more I build on top of it, I'm just resisting what actually is in my past, the past wounds and hurts and traumas and upsets. I'm making it have to work through more before it can come to the surface to let go of, to heal, to forgive. And so this particular work requires first that we clean up our past, however you want to do that. And I've discovered this particular episode is going to be more than one episode because there's steps and stages to this. So first of all, you want to identify all those places in your past where what I'm calling you have an incompletion, some place where there's a wound, a heartbreak, a hurt, a disappointment, a frustration, an anger, a trauma, and identify what that is. And then look and see what can you take responsibility for, because we do have some responsibility in those events. We're not 100% victims of them in most cases. And so look and see what you can take responsibility for and how you might go about cleaning that up from your perspective. And forgiving yourself, forgiving other people. And there's lots of episodes, if you flip back through, on taking responsibility, on forgiveness, on making requests, ways to clean up that past. And that's really where I want you to start, because just as a pastor told me once, it's not about putting out a fire. It's about creating a bigger fire, to something that inspires you, that you look forward to, that takes you to the next step. Because to really create change, you want to start to say new things, do new things, join new groups of people, invite new people into your life. I think I've told this story before of a friend of mine who was a professional clown, and she looked like a professional clown. She was robust and joyful and funny. And then she decided she wanted to be an athlete. She wanted to run marathons. And at first, I have to admit that her community of friends were like, what? Like it was the furthest thing from how she presented herself. But you know what she did? She started hanging out with athletes. She started eating like an athlete. She started thinking and doing things that athletes do. And pretty soon she was practicing with athletes. And before long, she was a marathon runner and she presented herself very differently. And just like if you're somebody who's struggled with addiction and you've gone to rehab, you come back into your family, oftentimes you relapse because it is community. We all have pieces in it. So when my friend did that, I could see my piece in it, which was I doubted her ability to transform herself. That was my piece. That's what I had to clean up. Like, wow, I could see how my view of you was restrictive. It didn't allow for you transforming into this amazing athlete that you are now. And I could apologize for that and clean it up because we all do have pieces of one another's puzzle. We're all a part of each other's process. So look back through your life. This is the first step, the first series in this episodes, and see if you can identify where those places are. See what you can take responsibility for. See how you can forgive and maybe request forgiveness or apologize or however, whatever needs to happen. Sometimes what needs to happen is you just need to get really clear about your part in it. You need to kind of unwind the stories that perhaps you've told yourself. I certainly told myself stories that kept me stuck in past events because we do that to protect ourselves and defend ourselves. But consider when you start to get who you're created to be, there's no need to defend or protect. It's like you can own your shortcomings and you can step into your blessings. So that's the first step. That's what you want to do this week is identify those places in your past and then start to clean them up. And then next episode, we're going to start to look at how do you build that bigger fire? How do you begin to create the new future you're walking into that will allow that change, that transformation to happen and to stick so that you truly do step into the creation you were made to be? I'll be here next week and I look forward to seeing you then. So have a great week and I'll see you soon. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love.